Good morning, Bonneville County. This is Idaho State Senator Kevin Cook. Just checking in with you. This is Breakfast with Senator Cook. I try to do that ever so often to give you a checkup of where we're at. It's been a really busy week. So Monday, I spent all day in Boise. We have a Medicaid task force committee that's been meeting. And Monday was our first day, and we'll be meeting several times throughout this year. In fact, we meet again on the 26th of June, July 10th and 25th, and August 9th and 31st. If you're interested in those dates, you can tune in. You don't have to be in Boise, but you can get online and you can listen to the meeting live. And if you don't make it there live, you can always jump on and look at the recording. So those meetings start at 10 o'clock each day. And the very next one is June 26th. So the point of this committee is to look at cost savings for Medicaid. How can we get Medicaid under control? We have a budget that is just running wild, and we need to get it under control. We need to get under control some of the lawsuits we've had in the past and take care of our people. And so that's the point of it. One of the big points that we're looking at is managed care. And what is managed care? Basically, right now you have the Department of Health and Welfare, and then you have the providers, the doctors, the counselors, emergency center, all of those people that are charging Medicaid. Well, the managed care idea is that you would put somebody in the middle, kind of a third party. And I know, a third party, you're like, well, why would you want a third party and you're just paying out more money? That's a great question, and that's why we're looking at it. So there's 40 other states that have moved in that direction, that have a managed care, a third party in the middle of it, that the providers work with the managed care, and the managed care works with the Department of Health and Welfare. The idea that's supposed to save you money is supposed to control your cost and lower your risk, all of which we are want here in the state of Idaho. So, like I said, there's 40 other states that have done it. However, I'm not seeing a cost savings. So the 40 other states are to continue to go up, and Idaho is on the same trend. We're going the same direction. But we're going to meet and see what we can do. I've also heard there's kind of a honeymoon period where you do save money the first couple of years and everything looks great and wonderful. And then the prices start to sneak back up and you're back on that upward trend. And so we're trying to figure that out, look at that, ask lots of questions. And in fact, I welcome your questions, things that you think we should be asking, looking at. Regardless of whether you're a provider or not, but I would really love to hear from the providers. They're the ones that will be impacted on this, as well as everybody else. To try and gather information on this, I have a town hall meeting on June 28th and 29th, 2 nights. You don't have to come to both of them, just one or the other. It's just a chance to get people there for one of the other nights. It's from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's in Building 3 at CEI on room 306. And so I'll have some graphics, some social media going out, some printouts. So we'll be getting news out about that meeting and love to have you come in and tell me what you're thinking. Tell me some questions you think I should be asking the department or some of these insurance companies, these people that will be vying for to be that middleman. So I'd love to hear from you, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, or just questions. So get involved. Again, that's June 28th and 29th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's at the College of Eastern Idaho, Building 3 at room 306, okay? Wednesday night, I went and met with President Green in Pocatello for a couple of hours, asking him some questions. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but President Green is the president of University of Idaho. The University of Idaho is moving forward with purchasing the University of Phoenix. You might have heard something about University of Phoenix, but basically it's a online school. They do have campuses throughout the nation, but they have sold off most of those campuses. I believe the only campus they have left is in Arizona, and that is where their headquarters is. That is where they do all of their software development, and all of their administration is in Arizona. So there is one campus, but it's an online school. It's one of the premier online schools. They've had struggles in the past, financial struggles. They had a company that come in and purchased them, and they purchased them for a set amount of time. That time is up. Their investor says, you need to sell. And that's what they do. They come in for a limited time. At the end of that time, they sell, regardless of how many golden eggs the goose has laid, or how much money they've made, or how little money they've made. They try to get rid of it by that time. That time frame is now. And so they were talking with Arkansas about buying them for 2 years, and it fell through at the last minute. And so now the University of Idaho has scooped it up and have looked at it. They have went through all of the legal people they can think of to try and say, is this solvent? Can we do it? Is it constitutional? Can we make money on it? Is it a smart thing to do? And so that's where they're at. I met with President Green Wednesday night, asked a whole bunch of questions there. And then Friday in Boise, we had the JFAC committee come together, and President Green and his staff presented what they're planning on doing with the University of Phoenix. And so we were in Boise for a couple of hours, meeting with JFAC and with President Green. If you don't know, Representative Wendy Horman, she is the co-chair of JFAC. And so she has some really great questions. She's had some insights. She's looked into this a little bit with President Green, and some legal advice as well with the AG's office. So anyway, some of the questions that were asked is, first, is it constitutional? Can the University of Idaho go out and buy something like this? And if they are they putting the state of Idaho, the taxpayers, in jeopardy? Are we on the hook for this if something goes south? And they're saying no. The University of Idaho, there is so many layers of things going through that is before it would ever reach the state of Idaho or the taxpayers. So they're pretty darn confident that that'll never come to it. The constitutional, they believe that it is within the Constitution for them to do that. They even had an example several years ago, decades ago, where they have university went in and bought so it's a non-profit, not-for-profit is how they're forming it. It's a not-for-profit that is purchasing the University of Phoenix. It's out of its completely owned board of regents, separated from the University of Idaho, in order to come through that and pierce the corporation, that they're saying, no, can't do it. We're keeping it very, very separate board of regents. And so they're looking at that. University of Idaho has presented this idea to the state school board, and they voted unanimously to accept it. They said, move forward. It sounds like a great deal. Let's see, some of the other things that they're looking at is, is it constitutional? Can we go out and purchase this? Do we have the money to purchase it? Because it was the way President Green said to me, and I am not the financial wizard on this or a business person, but says because it was a for-profit organization, they took all the profits they had and they had to give it back to the investors. As they turn this over and purchase this, it will be a not-for-profit, and some of that money that was going towards the investors will be put back into the University of Phoenix and used for the payments of the university. A lot of complaints were about that this was all done in darkness, that there was no transparency. We were just all of a sudden hit, boom. The state school board voted to buy it, and we're on our way, and nobody knew about it. And so they're saying one of the things is we had to sign an NDA, non-disclosure, and so they had to sign that in order to get in and start looking at the books and decide if this was a good thing. There was a lot of questions. Says, well, when are you going to lift that? When can we start looking at the books and seeing it? And basically, they're saying we're not sure if you will be able to see those books, not until the sale is final, which kind of makes sense. If you're in negotiation with buying a business, the last thing you want to see is have the whole world know about what the conditions are and what the books look like. And so they're holding their cards close to them to keep those. They are going to give us the deal with the terms of the NDA. They are going to let us see that, and so we'll have that available to the public here before too long. One of the questions I asked is University of Phoenix has had some legal problems in the past, some lawsuits. And I asked the question, are we inheriting any of those legal problems or any potential legal problems that we don't even know about yet? And they said, yes, there is the potential, but we feel like that most of them have been taken care of, that our risk is minimized. And I believe and I could get me wrong on this, so I believe he said if they put $250 million aside to handle any legal suits that they're unfamiliar with or are not aware of at this point. So anyway, it sounds like kind of a good deal, but there's still a lot of information to gather and figure it out. But it sounds good. The other thing is they're hoping to use this. We have an online Idaho where kids can go on and use that for educational purposes. What President Green is hoping is that, hey, we've got the premier online education here with the University of Phoenix. We're going to use some of that expertise, some of that stuff to improve online Idaho. And so it's a win-win for the whole state of Idaho, I believe. Another question was asked with, okay, well, if University of Idaho, if you purchase this not-for-profit organization, and it's going to make so much money and you are going to bring money into your university, that's great. We'll be able to appropriate less money to you. We will cut you back in your budget. And he says, well, why would you do that? Why would you take money, give me less money? Do you do that with Boise State when they go win all of their football games because they bring in a whole bunch of money? Do you cut them back because of money that's bringing in? By doing that, you're basically saying, quit being innovative, quit trying to figure out how to bring money in, because the more money you bring in, we will punish you. That's a good point. So we need to look at that as well. One of the big things that I'm trying to tackle, so that was just a 2-hour meeting, and then I spent the next 4 hours in Boise yesterday looking at how we can rewrite purchasing. Not necessarily rewrite it, but change it a little bit. I've been talking about this for about a year now. Word's getting out, and I have just had inundated with emails and phone calls and text messages from different members in agencies, state agencies, as well as contractors outside the state that are saying, hey, here's some of my pain points. This is what the state of Idaho is doing. Can we fix that? And so we're looking at fixing some stuff there. So again, if you're a contractor or if you're a state agency that has some pain points with the DOP, I'd love to hear from you. We're going to work with that and see what we can do to change things. And here's a good example. You've heard on the radio where at times we've spent $10,000 for a hammer. Not Idaho, but federal government, other state governments. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to do stuff quick. We want to be innovative, quick, nimble, and get things done. One of the agencies says it took me 3 years to get through the system to get everything cleared. That's too long. We got to do things quicker. By 3 years, your requirements have changed, your needs have changed, prices have changed, and so we've got to change that. So anyway, those are some 3 things that I've been working on this last couple of months. And if you have any questions, let me know. Be glad to work with you and answer your questions. Have a great weekend. Thank you.